A WWE team have requested their release. Plus, we've got backstage news on Cody Rhodes' loss at WrestleMania and an update on the status of Randy Orton. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler, aka the grizzled young veterans, are done with WWE. What's the story?
Yeah, Fightful Select had the initial report about Reed and Fowler requesting their release from the company, which it wasn't clear why the two men asked for them at the time. I think it might be due to the fact they're part of the schism, and one of them, especially Zach Gibson, can cut a hell of a promo, and he's been forced to cut these weird-ass NXT land, like, ooh, we're spooky boys and girls, 1 tree, 4 roots, ooh. It's really beneath him as a talent, and I can see why he wants to head off for pastures new.
It's the equivalent of buying a state-of-the-art lawnmower to cut a weed, essentially. Rip and Fowler, as you say, part of the schism. They lost on the pre-show, vanquished by Chase U as part of the Stand Deliver pre-show. They were hoping to win the school. If only they'd won the school, maybe they would have stayed. Now, I hope this leads to James Drake and Zach Gibson like refinding their voice on the indie circuit as the grizzled young veterans. I don't want them to come back to the UK. It'd be great if they do for a little bit, but there's a wide world of amazing teams.
Just maybe want to do that, Tom. The sound of Zach Gibson's name. Can't put it on the table, that's bad luck.
That is bad luck. Did Blood Brothers teach you nothing? What do you see them doing next? I genuinely think hitting the indies, but whether or not I'm missing a trick.
I honestly don't. Maybe Impact is maybe the best fit right now.
There's the trick I missed.
Because you think about the AEW tag team division and the trios division. Is there room in there for them right now to make a splash? I don't know if there is. So maybe you run an Impact where especially Zach Gibson can run his mouth. James Drake can support him doing fantastic tag team wrestling. That's the thing that's been lost most, like for me the most, is the fact that they are just fantastic tag team wrestlers. The little psychological bits they throw into their tag team wrestling, like the bit where they save each other in the corner and stuff like that, which other tag teams don't do by and large. That's been lost because they're now creepy buggers. It's hopefully they can just find what they were before somewhere. And I reckon if they're going to stay in America, Impact. Gotta be.
Yeah, I think that seems quite right. But it looks as if James Drake and Zach Gibson have new pastures ahead of them after some dodgy creative. On the subject of concerning creative, let's talk the ending of WrestleMania Night 2. Many believing that the ultimate open goal was missed by WWE to not have Cody Rhodes become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. There's been speculation as to why that didn't happen. What do we know currently, Ross?
Yeah, Fightful is saying the decision to have Roman Reigns win was set several weeks ago, with several members of WWE's backstage staff aware of the decision. There is no word on when talent were informed on the plans, and the minute of the interference elements. Yes, I've read that right. My glasses are blurry.
I think they mean the minutiae.
Oh, the minutiae. Sorry, my glasses aren't working. The interference elements of the bout were reportedly not relayed to talent, referees, and ringside staff until the day of the event.
Because they're keeping that thing nice and closely guarded and just keep on telling the story that Cody's definitely winning. Cynical fans, according to Fightful, assumed that the Roman Reigns win was a Vince McMahon move. Several sources from within WWE claim that McMahon was not involved in the decision at all.
Triple H never forgets.
Oh, sorry that I ruined your time on the throne, Cody. Imagine that's what it was. We'll talk about some of the things that took place, mainly on Night 2. Brock Lesnar and Omas opened the show. I enjoyed some of the conversations beforehand where it was essentially going to be Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. And Brock went, nah, give me that big lad over there.
As you would, to be fair.
Yeah.
The way things have gone for Bray.
So, and then obviously, if that was the case, Bray Wyatt went to Bobby, and we know what happened there. Lesnar had a chat with ESPN about why he chose Omos, and it's not the reason that you think.
Because I like David and Goliath, is what he said. Some people look at me like the Goliath and just sheer at the size difference. And the sheer size difference is in this human being. My glasses need to be right, Tom. You carry on with that quote.
Just the sheer size difference in this human being. I approach this like it's one of them things where it's me giving back to the business now. Tag.
Giving back and wanting to intrigue these young men that want to become and do what I've done over the years. The roles have reversed a bit, and I'm enjoying it, Lesnar said.
Yes, Brock Lesnar enjoys the changing of roles, no longer being the Goliath. He celebrated this by becoming the Goliath at the end of Monday Night Raw last night. I thought Brock versus Omas was exactly what it needed to be.
Oh, it's fantastic. I thought proper 1986 vintage American professional wrestling.
And I enjoyed seeing Brock Lesnar as the David. In a situation. There's not many opportunities you get to do that, and they did it, and I thought it was exactly what it needed to be.
He sold his arse off, did Brock, and it was fantastic. The pain on his face, he was grimacing like nothing, like there was no tomorrow.
Or red face like a strong cider drinker. So we've answered some questions from WrestleMania weekend. Why did Cody Rhodes lose in the main event? Why did Brock Lesnar choose Omos? The most pressing one still not answered. Who played the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascots during WrestleMania? They were one for their mascots at WrestleMania, weren't they? We had all sorts of gimmicked and advertised stuff going on, but there was a particular wrestler inside the costume of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot, wasn't there? Right?
Sol Rucker has revealed herself to be the Cinnamon Toast Crunch man who was at ringside for Rey Mysterio's entrance before his match with Dominic. It was all fantastic. I'm just surprised there was no skateboard on the scene or even a surfboard for Sol Rucker to do some cowabunga man and all the things that she does in NXT so wonderfully well.
She put onto the Instagram just around the same time. What a week. A little over a year ago, I started the WWE Performance Center. Last week, I was at LA coaching a tryout. Total full circle moment being in my hometown and on the other side of the tryout. Thankful for all the opportunities and friendships I've gotten over the years. So stoked I got to be the sin emoji for the Rey Mysterio entrance.
It's crazy that she only signed about a year ago because the stuff she does in the ring is the best advert. Because there was a little period of time where WWE apparently changed the hiring process to go for like just athletes rather than wrestlers with a bit of name value to go to the Performance Center. She was one of the athletes with no experience in professional wrestling, as far as I've been able to believe, and the stuff she can do in the ring is sensational.
I like the idea of them using that in the video package in like 10 years' time when she's main eventing WrestleMania. There's my first Mania as the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But also, like, I think there's some mixed opinions about the heavy advertising that was used throughout WrestleMania. WWE netted something like $20 million before the first bell had rung for WrestleMania because of these deals with the tax accountants app, with Cinnamon Toast
Hard
Crunch.
Lemonade for the triple threat match. I was like, sponsor that match by absinthe, not hard lemonade. 99% absinthe. But the thing that got people, I think, was the fact that you had the 6-woman tag on the same card as Dominic versus Rey, and I don't think the 6-woman tag had a sponsor, but this blood feud, the father trying to vanquish his convict son who's done horrible things to his mother, spat in his sister's face, sponsored by Cinnamon Toast.
Could you imagine Rock Austin at Mania X7 as Austin's making his way to the ring?
It's the Honey Puff Monster, whatever it was. The Sugar Puff Monster, I beg my pardon. What are they called now? Honey Sugar Puff?
They're called Monster Puffs now. My way or the highway. Sponsored by Monster Puffs and Ginster's Pasties. Num num num. Feed your rivalry with your best friend. Ending on a bit of news about Randall Keith, per a report from Dave Meltzer on Wrestling on Figure 4 Online. Orton was never in contention for a Mania return, contrary to sources' reports. WWE officials allegedly reached out to Meltzer and his team and requested they publicly quash any rumors of an Orton return. WWE wanted to temper audience expectation and alleviate any disappointment. The thought of Randy Orton being the Miz's surprise opponent and not Shane McMahon, but it is what it is. So that's Orton's return not happening soon. So there was obviously some speculation that was occurring.
He ordered boots, didn't he?
Ordered boots.
Yeah.
But then, you know, he could be going for a nice long walk.
In his wrestling boots.
He might be. He might be. Hey, doesn't Jack start his nice long walk today?
It's Thursday.
Thursday.
I think because our podcast is getting shot the day earlier. It's getting shot on Wednesday this week, so there'll be no AEW review on the podcast because it's also Good Friday this Friday, and also Jack starts his walk on Thursday. He is just like the Jesus in many respects.
He really is.
Or something.
He said that himself on many occasions. He hasn't really. You can check out more details then this week on the podcast about Jack's incredible charity walk coast to coast. I'll let him tell you all about that another time. But we'll have more wrestling news throughout the day.
Just realised it's a tribute to Shane McMahon in some respects, isn't it? Coast to coast.
Shane ain't walking anywhere anytime soon. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.